This is another episode of the Flight Ringers podcast. I'm David King. That's Dan Spotswood.
It's good to be here. Thank you.
We are professional cartoonists, and we are Legion of Superheroes experts. All right, the Smallville mail sack in Adventure Comics 319.
Sounds so nasty.
Yeah, most of this, I think, is Superboy crapola.
I don't think so.
No?
Am I wrong?
This first letter is talking about the Superboy reprints, I think.
Okay.
This one says, Dear Editor, this is from Marion Foreman, Little Falls, New Jersey. Dear Editor, now that Adventure Comics features the Legion of Superheroes in every issue, which they have since issue 300, this is 319, with Superboy stories only taking up 1/3 of the magazine, don't you think it would be a good idea to rename the letter department to something along the lines of Letters to the Legionnaires? Seems to me that such a change would be giving the Legion the extra recognition it so richly deserves. And it deserves that recognition even up to this very day.
And guess what?
What is that?
The very next issue is the first Legion Outpost.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, and they still don't get the recognition they deserve here 70 years later.
Maybe 60, I don't think so.
Like a person could live and die from the point that this letters page was published until today, and the Legion still wouldn't have got the recognition it really deserves for being among the greatest superhero teenage
future comp.
Whatever.
Future
fighting
in the future and in the past.
Teenage, their kids. The editor says, right you are, and we'll get to work on a more appropriate title for this page immediately. In the meanwhile, for your valuable suggestion, we are sending you a year's free subscription to this magazine?
I know. It's crazy.
Wow.
Like most of the time they're like, we're not the No Prize guys. Thanks for the name of that character that we're probably going to make money off for the next 60 years.
Yeah, we're going to make a movie about this character in 2022.
Like, this person didn't even name it.
I know.
They just said, maybe get another name.
Marion Foreman, the luckiest Legion fan in history. You got a whole year subscription for saying, hey, change the name of the letters column.
Maybe the editor was trying to get a date.
he loved the young fans. Oh, what a creep. Yeah, this next one from Sharon Rubin, Trumbull, Connecticut. Dear editor, in your January issue, number 316, at the beginning of the story, you show a dedication to Prody 1 and have Lightning Lad declaring that Prody 1 saved his life. But in your special feature, Origins and Powers of the Legion, you state that Prody 1 saved Saturn Girl? Which version is correct? And he just goes through some stupid mental gymnastics to say that Prody saved both of them. Prody is a 2-time lifesaver.
I wouldn't think it was that much of a stretch. I mean, that's the truth, right?
Oh, I guess. But how come they said
that? Well, except it's not the truth because he didn't really save Lightning Lad. Depending on that, which version of the story you go with. He saved the name Lightning Lad because otherwise it would have gone unused. Mm-hmm. And Saturn Girl.
Right. He provided some very valuable assistance to Saturn Girl.
Indeed.
Who knows for how long before Lightning Lad even passed away.
Is Validus a brain in there, or is he like Prody? It's like a purple blob up there. I thought it was a brain, but maybe it's Prody.
It could just be a Prody
in Prody form.
Like it's like a Gundam for a Prody to pilot.
Like the
little it's like a windshield for Prody at the top.
The kid's half Prody.
Yeah, how come Garadan Rands never turned into a blob of protoplasm? They didn't have the shapeshifter power, but they had the mental lightning power.
Right. Yeah. I guess it's because his mind went in there, right? That's the unfun part, or the less. I mean, it makes sense, but
yeah,
he just mentally took over his body, right? He didn't like morph into Lightning Lad. That's how I first interpreted it, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty crazy. Once I realized it was just a mental, like it doesn't seem like Lightning Lad didn't have that much going on up there to begin with.
Yeah, I kind of like it. I definitely like the idea of him, of Prody taking the form of Lightning
Right,
Lad and just
right,
being Lightning Lad after that. But then, yeah, where does the lightning power come from?
right.
But see, he could have maybe got that because they do that weird ritual where they hold lightning rods and then it goes into the dead body. So it could be a shapeshifter who has been imbued with electrical lightning powers.
Right.
Like if they had done a story where like not only is his personality different after his resurrection, but his powers are maybe a little weaker or are
Right.
demonstrated slightly different. Yeah, that would be great. That then you could have twin children who
Mhm.
exhibit mental powers, lightning powers, oh, and
Um,
shape shifting powers.
that's a lot.
And then somewhere along the line, Saturn Girl would have to be like, "Yeah, I was dating two guys, Garth Rands,
And my teammate's pet.
yeah, yeah, Chameleon Boy's pet."
But he wasn't really a pet, and I knew it. I was progressive.
In the dark, you can't tell the difference.
Mhm. Mhm.
Couldn't see that he didn't have red hair or hair at all.
Felt a little squishy, but
He was he wasn't squishy in the right places.
not not for long.
Oh boy. Bits of Legionnaire business. Bobby Flash. Bobby Flash, Jersey City.
That's a good
Damn.
name.
There's totally a real guy named Bobby Flash out in Jersey City, New Jersey, right? He's got he's got like a garage where he soups up Camaros.
He's like, way back in 1962, I got my name in Adventure Comics 319. That was me.
For as long as I can remember, I always wanted to be a good fella. Hey, Bobby Flash.
I'll tell you one thing, Bobby Flash is probably pissed if you read what he mentions, his
he says,
idea.
he says, weapon lad. He has the power to create any weapon in the solar system. I love these child generated legionnaires.
Right, right.
Like they're always like,
Um,
he can do whatever the fuck he wants. He has all the money. He
right,
can
right.
kill
He has
anyone.
all the powers of all the characters. But it's funny that's kind of what Duplicate Boy ends up like though, because his weird thing is I think he just has to watch people use their powers. It isn't like Rogue or something where he has to touch them. He just
Mm-hmm.
if he witnesses you using the powers, he has the power. Which seems like specific to me in a way. It makes me wonder if they built that idea off this idea.
I don't remember when the Heroes of Lalar showed up.
Right.
It may have been
Well, this
prior
is
to this,
pretty
but
early though, right? 319. This
yeah.
is maybe the furthest back we've gone, right? I mean, they don't have their rings yet.
Yeah, that could be. Here, I'm about to look in the Who's Who in the Legion and
Check the
find out when
who's
the
who.
Heroes of Lalar showed up. First appearance in the Legion is Adventure 324, the Heroes of Lalar.
Whoa, that's very close.
Yeah. Yeah, like 5 months
man.
later, they're like, oh, yeah, we
Bobby
got
Flash is pissed.
Duplicate Boy created by Bobby Flash of Jersey City.
I was the real one creator. I was robbed.
Roberta Davidson of New Shrewsbury, New Jersey.
Is that a real place?
How come all their letters are coming from New Jersey? Little Falls, New Jersey, Jersey City, New Shrewsbury, New Jersey.
Well, it's another girl in driving distance.
Yeah, exactly. I think Mort lived in New Jersey. Song Girl. She can charm any person into obeying her orders by singing to them. That sounds like Charma. She just speaks. She doesn't have to sing.
Right. A lot of siren characters that goes back in mythology. Antidote Andy.
Concoct an antidote to neutralize any disease, poison, or magic spell. That's power. That's very powerful. Like you add in the magic spell part. Like, yeah, there's nothing can touch you.
I actually sort of like that idea. Like, it would make sense, especially for a large team like that, that if they could find someone with like healing powers of some kind, they'd have him on staff.
Mm-hmm.
Be very useful in the war.
Disease, poison, or magic spell. And like if a person has oh like some kind of long-term disease, like the kind of disease you have your whole life that's more of a disability
Hmm.
or a different ability. Can this person, I mean, not that those people need to be returned to some kind of quote unquote normalcy. Could he ease that different ability if it's a hardship on a person?
Well, I mean, we're cutting the line really fine here, but it would be like the difference. Like dis some things might legitimately be a disability in that maybe it is hampering the quality of their life, or maybe they're not going to live as long, or it's as
Yeah,
opposed to something that just makes you different than another person, but not less. Not that either does, but
right, exactly. Like what if I'm a hero and in battle I get my arm blown off?
mhm.
Can this character Antidote Andy restore my arm? Like let's say I'm Lightning Lad and a
Mhm.
giant whale, a space whale, has eaten my arm, and he could restore my arm, and then I don't have to go and seek revenge. That's like a plus plus.
Yeah,
Like he could help get revenge out of the universe.
it's such a dumb thing to get revenge for, especially when you can just get a robot hand. Like if they blew his dick off or something, I would understand.
Don't you think in the 30th century he'd get a robot dick?
It's probably not the same. I don't know.
Like
Maybe there's advances in.
if he had a robot dick, would she have needed Prody?
I don't know. Would like the. I mean, metal conduces electricity too. I mean, there could be some terrible mishaps there.
Yikes. He would only be
Yeah.
able to do it with one person after that.
Right. Right.
And she probably wouldn't want to because she's his sister.
Oh. Well, maybe there's like a rubber lady or something. Insulator lasts.
It's like, yeah, there must be somebody who's made out of glass, right?
Right. Right.
Diamond Death from Karate
Isn't
Kid.
glass is conductive, isn't it? Is it not?
They
Maybe
make
it's
those
not.
insulators on the power poles out of, or they used to make them out of glass, right?
Oh, okay.
I don't know why, but they're different colored glass. And
Mm,
neon tubes are made out of glass.
it's true. It's true.
Maybe remember that movie Glass, the Shyamalan movie with Samuel Jackson.
I did not see it, but I know what you're talking about.
He's also from Bruce Willis. That guy could be hooking up with, assuming the fandom is okay with a
Right.
multiracial
But he had
gay
a disability of
relationship.
his own, right?
That's right. He
Like
was
he
in
was
a
just
wheelchair.
like he didn't turn into glass. He was like glass.
Yeah, he could break real easy. One
I
guy was
think that really
unbreakable, and one guy was very breakable.
right. That was the idea, wasn't it?
I'm sure it was.
Like he had soft bones or something. Like
Uh-huh.
I'm serious.
No, I know.
That was the plot. I only saw it one time, and I remember that. I think
But
that was the last time I saw an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
did you know there's two sequels to that movie?
I've heard it has not enticed me to see them, but
I
maybe
want
they're
to.
good.
I haven't watched them. I want to watch them. I
Right.
think I think
Like
M
one.
Night Shyamalan is maybe underrated. I don't know. Those movies are like they're probably okay.
I kind of everyone hates it, but I kind of like the Science movie. But that's the other ones I don't really.
I
They're
remember
okay.
liking Signs. Of course, there's Mel Gibson in it, who
Yeah.
is just a fucking anti-Semitic, racist piece of human garbage. Has no business living on the same planet that people like you
Right.
and I live on.
Right. Right.
But yeah, Signs was a
He's
fun movie. Mad Max.
yep. Yep. I liked the Lethal Weapon movies when I was growing up.
Have you watched them lately? I watched them maybe 2 years ago. They're
No,
dumb as
I'm
shit.
getting.
They're so stupid.
I've gotten too old for that shit. Those kids movies.
The first Lethal Weapon,
Hmm.
the final scene is just Mel Gibson and the bad guy having a fist fight, and it's like 10 minutes
Oh,
long. That's how they solved
aren't
the
they like?
movie.
I thought they were like kickboxing with their shirts off.
It's kind of like that. It's raining. It starts raining. They're in
Right,
LA, and
right, right,
it starts to pour rain, and they
right,
fight
right,
out there.
right,
Like in LA, it rains like 3 times a year,
right, right.
or it did back then. It rains a little more often now because of the climate crisis. Some people say that's not a real thing, but the people who watch our YouTube videos, they know it's real.
Or is it? It doesn't seem to be in the 30th century.
Well, it's because they have a machine that controls the weather, and it actually
That's
makes
right.
the climate crisis worse by controlling the weather.
That's right. We just talked about that.
Yeah.
Son of a bitches.
Chuck Davis, Ferndale, Michigan. He proposes the character Medusa Maid. She has the power to turn any living matter to stone and back again. Well, I think thinking about how Dream Girl can turn certain parts to stone,
Yes.
but they
Yes.
would never turn back again.
Wow. That could be a problem.
Uh,
Wasn't there some character like they changed the name of the character, I think, because it was too dumb or they never used it, but there was talk of like a Medusa lad or a Medusa boy or something like that who had the same power. It was kind of strange because it was a male character with the Medusa name. That was either
Kid Medusa? Is that in like 1963 or something?
maybe.
That
I don't
seems
know where I pulled.
familiar.
I don't know where I'm remembering that from. It almost seems like something I read in a letter column like this. But
Mm-hmm.
of course, there would be a Medusa just a couple of years after this. The Jack Kirby character.
Oh yeah. But she doesn't turn people to stone. She just has the long hair, right?
Right.
She has
Right.
the Spider Girl powers.
Yeah.
Spider Girl come first.
I hope so.
They both have red hair.
Yeah. That is crazy. Magic Mistress, right? This is a little bit like a White Witch. A little
Oh
bit.
yeah, Andy Purcell, Leoma, Tennessee. She's a descendant of the wizard Merlin and has the power of super sorcery. How do you inherit sorcery powers? Is sorcery an inherent, inborn power, or is it something you learn through a lifetime of study?
Well, I think in some fictional stories, people seem to have a predisposition for magic, like it runs in the families. Vincent Price had. Oh,
Or
go
like
ahead.
people who have like a heightened senses, like the people who can become psychics and fortune tellers and who
Right.
can see ghosts.
Right.
They have a different level of sensory perception than
Right.
the rest of people, and
Right.
that's a genetic trait.
Or it's like this isn't quite the same. Maybe it would still count as inheriting though, like it's the family business or something like
Oh, how long ago was Merlin supposed to be around? Like this
I
is
think like
Knights of the Round Table shit, like in 1000 BC or AD rather, like a
I
thousand
think it
years
was like
ago.
I think it was like 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, and
Which is
so
why I think it's crazy that DC has never thought of doing like a Legion set 1,000 years in the past. Because I think that would be a fun Elseworld story.
1,000 years in the past. That would just be the Knights of the Round Table, right?
Right. But it's like a perfect place to, like in Elseworlds where Superboy goes 1,000 years back instead of forward. Right.
Right.
but then they're all sort of medieval or magic based characters instead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like analogs to the future versions. You know what I mean?
They did that Elseworlds Annual. Was that what that one was like?
I thought they were like Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, they did that one too. But then they did a Knights of the Round Table Legion one.
They did?
Yeah. It's
Oh shit.
let me see.
God damn it.
I'll look.
They
I'll see
beat
if
me
I can.
to it.
Let's see if I can find
Well,
it.
it's too
in the
good of an
boxes.
idea not to thought of.
But it might still have been in the future. Let me see if I can find it real fast. Elseworlds, 1994.
I never saw that one. I totally forgot they would have had an annual as well. It still looks like the future, though.
Yeah, it does.
Is it? Or is it?
Yeah, it's set in 2990.
No.
Mark Waid and Ty Templeton, story. Paul Pelletier and Jeff Moy, pencils. And then the revolving door of inkers, Mark Farmer, John Lowe, Wade Von Grawbadger, and Ron Boyd.
Oh, damn it. We still... Did we finish or not? I forget.
Yeah,
Magic
we got to
Mistress.
Magic Mistress.
Were we gonna...
I don't really have too much to say. She got...
Yeah, we've
you
said
said she
already.
was kind of like a White Witch.
Yeah, kind of. Anyway, bottom middle. That is the issue that came out the same month that John Fort drew. And it's a Legion Jimmy Olsen issue.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
So that should be an issue we do
Oh, yeah. Okay.
when we get back around to the Silver.
I don't own that one. That's Adventure Comics 319. The Smallville Mail Sack.
LOL. Or LLL. LLL.
LOL. See you in 30 days, Legionnaires.